After a very hot Monday across much of eastern and southeastern Australia, the focus for heat today now moves into New South Wales, with a gusty cool change on the way later and the chance of some severe storms. Let's take a closer look at all of that, starting with a look at yesterday's maximum temperatures, the observed maximum temperatures from Monday. As you can see, we've got a broad area of temperatures in the 40 to 45 degree range, extending from the Northern Territory through inland Queensland and New South Wales, parts of South Australia and much of Victoria. Now, some of our highest temperatures across the day yesterday include 47.1 degrees at Walpyup in Victoria. Now, this is the 5th highest December temperature recorded anywhere in Victoria, in fact, and the hottest throughout all of Australia for yesterday. But we had a number of other locations exceeding 45 degrees through parts of South Australia, New South Wales, Queensland and the Northern Territory. It's also notable that we did get up to 36.5 degrees down in Tasmania. Incredibly warm for a location so far south. Now, for many parts of New South Wales, southeast South Australia and Victoria, this equates to the warmest December day since 2019. But there was a cool change that did move through the later part of yesterday, which has left us with much milder conditions for today through southeast South Australia, Victoria and Tasmania. The heat is really now focusing through parts of eastern and northern New South Wales, continuing through Queensland and the Northern Territory as well. That cool change that I mentioned can be seen on this map, this blue dashed line indicating where the trough is. That trough will move up the New South Wales coast today, finally bringing some relief to those hot areas further north. Now, we are expecting a top of 33 degrees in Sydney today, but just a ways inland in the western suburbs, the likes of Penrith and Richmond are expected to exceed 40 degrees, possibly pushing up to 41 or 42 degrees. That change has already moved across the southeast coast through this morning and is likely to move across the Illawarra and central parts of the coast through the mid to late afternoon. We're going to see it gradually pushing towards the Hunter later this evening, but it's unlikely to reach those northern coastlines until later tonight, going into the early hours of tomorrow morning. Now, the timing for that cool change, we are likely to see it reaching the southeast coast where it hasn't already reached by around lunchtime today, or about the time I record this video in fact, moving through the Illawarra between 3 and 5 p.m. this afternoon. Sydney is likely to see that cooler change moving through somewhere between 6 and 7 p.m. Now, the gustiness of the winds as this southerly pushes up the coast may mean that it emerges as a southerly buster through parts of the Illawarra and Central Coast as it moves through, which means very strong and gusty winds on that wind change. As I said, the Hunter, Newcastle area not expected to see the change until later this evening. Now, as well as the gusty winds along this change, we could also see a few thunderstorms. Now, storms are possible today across much of northern, central and southeastern New South Wales, these green areas you see on our thunderstorm outlook map. But we do have a yellow area marked, which is where severe thunderstorms are possible today. Now, that covers parts of the central and southern ranges, pushing out towards the adjacent coast, including parts of the northern Illawarra coast and southern Sydney suburbs. Now, in those areas, we could see severe storms bringing damaging wind gusts through the course of today, most likely as that cool change moves through. Short, sharp downbursts bringing some flash flooding and large hail are possible, but much more of a marginal risk than the damaging wind risk today. Now, any thunderstorms are likely to be fairly isolated though, so widespread rainfall totals are likely to be on the lower side of things. Now, you can track this windy cool change moving through via the Bureau's website, the Bomb Weather app or via our social media. Stay safe, check the warnings, and we'll catch you in the next update.